Hello and welcome to my new YouTube video. Today I'll be doing a tutorial / review of a DaVinci Resolve plugin called Dehancer. For those of you who don't know, Dehancer is a plugin which helps you achieve that true film look with your digital footage. It features effects like film profiles, grain, halation, bloom, film breathe, gate weave, and so on. There is also an iOS app for both videos and photos, and I will cover it later on in my video, so stay tuned and enjoy. So let's start with how the plugin works. After you've installed Dehancer, you will need to make some changes in project color management. Simply go to your settings at the bottom right, go into color management, and paste the settings you see here. After that, head over to your color tab and open the effects section. Scroll all the way down and you will find Dehancer. Drag it onto your node. You will now see all of the effects pop up on the right side of your screen. In the input section, select your source as DaVinci Resolve Wide Gamut /Rec 709. From here, it is fairly easy to use, and if you get stuck anywhere, Dehancer provides a very detailed manual which covers the whole plugin. Let's now look at the different effects that Dehancer does. The first one is film profiles. This effect will allow you to transform your footage to look like the film stock you choose. There are plenty of film stocks to choose from. With over 50 of them available, chances are you will find the right one for your footage. Here are a few examples of different film stocks applied to my footage. Moving on to the next effect, which is bloom. Blooming is an effect which you will see a lot in both modern and old Hollywood movies. Bloom gives your footage much softer and more spread highlights, making it look more dreamy and heavenly. One movie I recently watched, The Fabelmans, uses this effect to a great extent. Dehancer does a great job with bloom, making it very easy to adjust. You can enable the mask mode to see what parts of the footage bloom is affecting and how it affects it. The next effect is halation. This effect will give a red glowing halo on the edges of your highlights. This is an effect you can see in movies filmed with older cameras because most modern film cameras have anti-halation backing. Overall, halation will give your footage a nice vintage look to it. With Dehancer, you can control the amount of halation you have and how much of your highlights it affects. But what is also interesting is that you can change its hue between red and orange. You have controls like local and global halation, changing how far the halos spread from the edges and how much your midtones are affected. Like with bloom, you can enable mask mode in halation as well, letting you see exactly what changes are your adjustments bringing. Overall, I think they've done an excellent job with halation, and this is an effect I will definitely be adding to a lot of my footage in the future because it just makes it look more vintage. Next up is grain, an effect which a lot of filmmakers like in their films, and you can see it a lot in photography nowadays too. You can add this effect as a finishing touch to your vintage looking footage, although I wouldn't add too much. Dehancer of course lets you adjust the grain completely, so if you do want to add a lot of it, you certainly can. Keep in mind that adding grain to your footage will make it harder to process, so you might not have a smooth playback unless you're using a really high-end piece of equipment for your editing. Two other effects that I find interesting are film breathe and gate weave. Film breathe is going to add light flickers and gate weave is going to shake the whole frame. You can pair these two with either color or black and white footage. In both cases, it can look pretty good. Last but not least, Dehancer lets you export all of your adjustments into a LUT. So if you want to save it and apply it in the future, or maybe export it for in-camera use, you can do that. It lets you export into either small or normal size. If you're going to use it for in-camera, small size is just enough to do the job. Alright, that was it for the DaVinci Resolve plugin. Now let's move on to the iOS app, which is both compatible with iPhones and iPads. The colors and tools that you get in the app are similar to the ones that you get in the desktop plugin, so if you're someone who's more interested into phone editing, this might be the app for you. With the iOS app, Dehancer gives you the same effects that you get in DaVinci Resolve, and you can apply them to both photos and videos. The app is fairly easy to use. Once you open either a photo or a video, you'll be brought into presets section. There are presets available from Dehancer team, or you can create your own. To make your own edits, select Original, then go into Edit page. Here you will find all the same effects like in DaVinci Resolve. If you want to enable an effect, just tap on it and you will see a dot next to it. To disable an effect, just tap it again and the dot will disappear, indicating that the effect is disabled. Export by clicking on this blue button here. And to save your preset, go back to the presets page and click Save. Let's now look at a few examples I've made using Dehancer iOS app. Alright, that was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this tutorial / review of Dehancer plugin. If you're interested in the plugin, I will leave a link down below in the description for you to check it out. And if you want to see more of these kind of videos, subscribe to my channel, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.